Hello, I'm Dr. Levon Hairapetyan, a business professor at Houston Baptist University. In this short video, I will demonstrate how to create a classification tree for observations with two variables. The nice thing about two variables, they are numerical variables, is that we can plot them on XY plane, and it will visually, you can see all observations, and you can visually, we can see what's the best way to split. So here I have, these are my observations. I have divided into two classes. Class 1, those green circles are my class 1 observations, which belong class 1, and the blue triangles, those observations will belong class 0. And each observation is uniquely identified with two variables. So one of them is treated as X coordinate and the other one Y coordinate. So for example, this 2, 8, so this is my first observation. This is my first element in this class, located at coordinate 2, 8, and so on. Now what I want to do is to create a classification tree based and divide these objects into classes, into actually groups, and each time when we divide it into two groups, we have to divide in such a way that each group will be less impure. So one more thing, and the ultimate goal in classification trees is eventually to be able to classify a new observation. So I have created a new observation here. So my new observation is with coordinates 11.5 and 4.7, and which is this observation. So the rest, circles and triangles, are the actual observations, which they are classified already into class 1 and class 0. And based on these actual observations, I want to classify this new observation into either class 1 or class 0. And in order to do that, now we will gradually create, first we'll create the classification tree, and then we will drop this object, new object, down to that tree and see whether we classify it as class 1 or class 0. So the whole essence of classification tree is that the idea behind classification tree is that you divide the set of all your observations into two subsets based on the value of a single variable. So we have two variables, X and Y. So we'll divide into based on the value of Y or based on the value of X. And the division, it should be done in such a way that subsets, new subsets, will be less impure, or you can say more pure. So the first thing, visually I can see that if I can divide this way, like X equals to 5, use the value 5 for split, then here I will have 4 elements and all of them will be in the same class, so impurity will be 0. So that's what I will do. We'll draw, this is my first split on the value of X5. So simultaneously, I'll show you also the tree. So this is the tree. First, we will check whether the X is less than or equal to 5. If yes, which is this part, as you can see, there are 4 of them, and all of them belong to class 1. Now, the rest are here, and there are 20 of them. So total, we have 24 observations, 20 of them. So there is nothing to split in here. Now we will split this into two subset or subgroups in such a way that the impurity will be less. And as you can see, you can imagine that if I draw a line like this way, based on Y equals to 7.1, then we will have less impurity in both sides. So that's the line which I will draw. Therefore, my second split will be based on the value of Y at 7.1. And that's why you see here. Here I will split on this. If Y is less than 7.1, which is this part, so we have 8 of them, and more than, we have 12 of them. Now we have to repeat this process, which means we have to split both of them. So it doesn't matter in which order you will do, but if I do this way, first this, then this will be the best place to split. If I do here, it will be the best place to split. So let's split. Next, I will split for x at value 12, and that's what you see. If it's less than 12, so here I have 4, although one of them is class 0, the 3 of them is class 1, so 3 versus 1, so 75% are class 1 or 25% class 0. So I trimmed this part as a single node and with class 1, because class 1 definitely dominates. That's why here I put class 1. Now let's split this, and the best value is somewhere in here, so it will be x11. So I drew this. The way I am doing, why I'm doing this line, so you can visually see. When I split at this level value, then when x is less than 11, I have 5 of them, and all of them are in the same class, in class 0. Therefore, impurity is 0 here. And so you can see here, when I split at 11, then I have on the left side here, I have 5 of them, and all of them are class 0. Then the next part, I can split one more time, let's say like this way. Okay? And let's split that way. And now I'm splitting based on the value of y, and the value is 11.12. So below this, all 4 are in the same class, in class 1. So if it's less than 4, class 1. If it's more than this number, I have 2 in class 1 and 1 in class 0, which means dominant is class 1. That's why I will trim this part and present as a single node with class 1. Again, why class 1? Because here I have twice as much in class 1 than in class 0. And basically, this is what we have. So I explained how this visually I divided this all set into subsets, and then subset into sub-subsets in such a way that each time when, as a result of division, the 2 new subsets are less impure. And while I was doing this, I was simultaneously, we created also the tree. The last step is, and the ultimate goal of this exercise was, okay, we created a tree and we have a new observation, which is here. And these are the coordinates of that observation. The x value for this new observation is 11.15 and y value is 4.7. Now, how we classify this observation? When tree is created, the way we classify, we already learned that in another video, that we drop, it's called dropping down the observation through the tree. So starting from here. So the first value comparison is with respect to x. Is x less than or equal to 5? No, because our x is 11.15. That's why we go this way. Now we compare y with 7.1. Is y less than 7.1? Yes, we go this way. And then we compare x with 12. Is x less than 12? Yes, we go here. And we reach the terminal node, class 1. Therefore, this new observation should be classified as class 1. Short summary, what we learned in this video. When we have observations with 2 variables, and it's easy to visualize those 2 variables as dots or points on the plane, xy plane, and then use splitting for splitting, since we have only 2 variables, it will be split either with respect to x or with respect to y, and we can do that visually using lines, and then simultaneously creating classification tree. And then when the tree is created, we can use that tree to classify a new observation. This concludes my short video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.